Good morning, Mountain Park Church, and thank you so much for joining us on Epic Sunday. We are glad you are here worshiping with us today. My name is Ryan. I am one of the pastors on staff here.
I'm Rick. I'm also one of the pastors here, and we are so glad you have joined us. To start off this morning, we have a message from Hunger Fighters.
Good morning, Mountain Park Church, and thank you so much for being here with us. We are excited for this next month of Hunger Fighters. We are going to be doing rice, but last month
we did toothbrushes and toothpaste, and we did really a wonderful job.
That's amazing.
So I know that they will be used, and I don't know if you call it cherished, but a lot of people don't have toothbrushes that are watching them.
I think they'll be cherished. Yeah. And what were you saying about the size of bag of rice?
We at Mountain Park are so generous that sometimes when we do things, instead of getting a smaller bag like these, we get 50-pound bags. We really need individual bags in the smaller sizes, white or brown or jasmine or any kind of rice that you like. But let's keep it at a smaller size so that more people can partake.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys have amazing hearts. We just got to remember it's got to be in easily movable containers, not something you're slinging over your shoulder. So thank you so much for your generosity. We appreciate it, and we will see you next month.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Carolyn. We are excited to be able to continue partnering with Hunger Fighters. We have a few more things we want to keep you informed on. The first one is we have a lunch next week if you are interested with VBS. VBS is going to be happening this June. So if you have questions about what's going on, you can go to that lunch next week. It is here at church. It is not a commitment. It is just for those who are interested and open to the possibility of helping with VBS. We also have the QR code that is for if you have any questions, whether that's why we're doing the service, questions you have about what we're teaching on, or if you have questions about specific things and details. You can scan that QR code on the screen, or you can scan it in the summit. And
speaking of the summit, our March and April version is out. Lots of good information. There's always the same information, but there's also new information every time. It's like a little treasure hunt. So make sure you flip through, make sure you look through it, and let us know if you have any feedback on that. We appreciate it. Also, coming up, we have a quarterly leadership meeting, easy for me to say, March 19th at 5:15. If you consider yourself part of Mountain Park, or if you're just curious, if you're what's happening around here, it's a time for us to have dinner together, and then you can hear from the ministry leaders about what's happening in those areas of influence and ministry. And if you have any questions, you can ask those. Please RSVP with me and let me know you're coming so we can have enough food.
the importance behind the QLM, the summit, this lunch is all because we want to communicate well with you. Another really good way of doing that is the connection card that is in the seat back in front of you. If you are new and have questions about what we're about, what we're doing here, you can put that on the connection card and then place that in the offering plate as it comes by later in the service. We also have a prayer team that is up front after the service that would love to talk with you and pray with you about what's going on in your life. And if you have any questions, they are up front ready to pray with you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And now we have a recap of Guatemala. So let's check that out.
I love our trip to Guatemala. And one of my favorite things is meeting new people. God has in mind who he wants, but we don't ever know until we actually, are on the airplane. But so many new friends come out of a week like this, and reconnecting with old friends through the adventure of ministry and travel into a new place, a different place. And it's just beautiful to watch people learn to appreciate each other, their gifts, their calling, why they're there versus why they thought they were coming. I think the experience is so deeply relational. In fact, we've kind of said that a week of mission trip is like a year of life group. You just get so close to people that you didn't even know until you got on the airplane with them and watched them do what God brought them there to do, eat lunch with them, laugh with them, sometimes cry with them, and just deep bonds get made over the hard work of ministry. So that's one of my favorite aspects of a mission trip like this, is getting close to people.
One of the most valuable things that I learned going to Guatemala is just to adjust my expectations. In my mind, my very Western mind, go as fast as we can, get as much done as we can. But, the impact that one tooth being pulled or one cavity being filled just goes further than you can even imagine. That life is forever changed. The one tile being laid or the one room of tile being laid in the preschool enables them to start a class immediately, and those kids' lives are immediately changed. And it may not seem like a whole bunch, but when you have a group of 20 kids in a town of 200, it changes the entire village. So, yeah.
Something that was really cool for us to experience on this trip was our preschool here in Lake Oswego, Sunshine Express, gathered supplies and donated them to the preschool in Coyolate. Everything from backpacks to markers to pencils to whiteboards to glue sticks. And they donated it to the preschool in Guatemala. They also wrote Christmas cards for each one of the kids. So all the kids in Guatemala had a handwritten card from someone across the other side of the world that loved and worshiped the same God that they did. Not only did the students appreciate this, but the parents and the families did as well. And here you can hear them all say, "Thank you." As our time working in Coyolate came to an end, we were able to finish one of the preschool rooms, getting the floor done with tile work. And then shortly after that, we were able to help begin pouring a foundation right outside of the preschool where a kitchen and bathroom would be placed for the future generations that go through the preschool. The construction team worked so well with the local members of the church working in the preschool, and then the dental team worked with the medical clinic that was already there so well. And the team that we brought worked with such cohesion together and really did an amazing job. Also, at the very end, Pastor Greg preached a sermon how even though we come from different communities and different backgrounds, we are a part of one body worshiping God together. After many tears and hugs and laughter, we loaded up into a bus, leaving Coyolate, going back to Antigua, where a time of rest and reflection came over us. The overall feeling after coming back from Coyolate was a feeling of excitement. We can sense that God is doing something and working through the people in Coyolate, and we are grateful to be a part of that. If this is something that you are interested in being a part of and working in Coyolate, please let us know, because we want to introduce this experience to people who might be curious or intrigued by it. So please let us know if this is something you are interested in doing.